Welcome back, thanks for tuning in. What I'd like to look at today is 3, 4 and 6 note sequences using the pentatonic scale. Yes, the good old pentatonic. These ideas I'm going to show you, they double up as exercises as well as musical sequences. I've used them many times in solos and as an exercise to warm up. So we'll go in close and I'll break each one down. Okay, sit tight, see you in a mo. Okay, so here we are, up nice and close. So we're going to use the first position of the A minor pentatonic to demo these ideas. I use the minor pentatonic in A as a default mechanism really, because it's nice, it's in the middle of the guitar and it's kind of industry standard, as it were, to use the A minor pentatonic. Certainly is for me. So if you're not familiar with the pentatonic scale, which I'm sure a lot of you are, check out some of my other videos where I do use the A minor pentatonic. So the first position looks like this. We're going to do a descending sequence of 3, so it's the same scale, but okay, so the sequence goes like this. It's a sequence of 3, so you're going to play the first 3 notes, but we're going to play the first one here, which is the high E 8th fret, and we're going to pull off to the 5 on the high E. Then we're going to pick the 8th fret of the B. We'll go back to the high E 5th fret, pick the B on the 8th fret, and then pull off back to the 5th fret of the B. So we have, then we pick the 8th fret of the B, pull off to the 5th fret of the B, and then pick the G on the 7th fret. So far we've got so as we continue that theme, back 1, 5th fret of the B, 7th fret of the G, pull off to the 5th fret of the G. Back to the 7th fret of the G, pick, pull to the 5th fret, and then pick the 7th fret on the D. Back 1 to the 5th fret of the G, 7th fret of the D, pull off to the 5th fret of the D. Back to the 7th fret of the D, pull off to the 5th fret of the D, pick the 7th fret of the A, back 1 note to the 5th fret of the D, pick the 7th fret of the A, pull off to the 5th fret of the A, and then we'll do the last couple. Back to the 7th fret of the A, pull off to the 5th fret of the A, and then we'll play the 8th fret of the low E, back to the 5th fret of the A, 8th fret of the E, and then pull off to the A note on the 5th fret of the low E. So what we have is this. Okay. The second sequence of 3 that we have is once again descending, and it starts exactly the same on the high E on the 8th fret. Okay, and it goes like this, the same set of 3. But what we're going to do for the next set of 3 is we'll re-pick this note here. So we play the high E on the 8th fret, pull off to the 5 on the 5th fret on the high E, and then pick the 8th fret of the B. Then we re-pick the 8th fret of the B, pull off to the 5th fret of the B, 7th fret of the G, then we re-pick the 7th fret of the G, pull off to the 5th fret of the G, pick the 7th fret of the G, 7th fret of the D. So what we have is this. So if we continue that along, we'll end up with this. Cool. The next sequence we're going to do is a 4-note sequence. There's only 4 notes in there, but there's kind of 6 notes in the sequence, if you like. So is the figure. So the way we do that, I start on the 7th fret of the A string, pull off to the 5th fret of the A string, pick the 8th fret of the low E, then I play the 5th and the 7, hammer on from the 5 to the 7, and then finish the sequence with a pick on the 5th fret of the D. So you've got this. Okay. Then the next sequence will be the next note in the scale, and then we follow the same thing. So we're playing 4 notes, but 6 in the sequence, if you like. So we're playing the 7th of the D, 5th of the D, 7th of the A, 5th of the D, 7th of the D, 5th of the G, but we've got that pull off, pick, hammer, pick. So we get continue on. That is actually a hammer on there, because if you look at the sequence, so the first new note of each sequence is a hammer on after the first one, which is a pick. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. Confused me. So then the next one, G string 7th, G string 5, D string 7, 5 7, hammer on, pick, 5th fret B, and then the last sequence is hammer on to the 8th fret B, pull off to the 5th fret of the B, pick the G string on the 7, oops, 5th fret of the B, hammer on to the 8th fret of the B, and then finish off with a pick on the high E. So, okay. The last one we're going to look at is 6 notes, both descending and ascending. Okay, so we're taking the position of the A minor first position, and we're going to quite simply play the first 6 notes of the scale, come back to the in-between string, and then carry on. So I'll explain it like this, it's a lot easier. Okay, so we're picking the first note, hammering on to the second note. I shouldn't need to say all the fret numbers and names now, you should know them by now. Then we come back to the previous string and play the next 6. So we get this. Back to the in-between string. I say in-between because the sequence is like 3 strings, so we're coming back to the middle string each time. Back to the middle one. Then we descend. Same principle, but we're now pulling off to each note. Pick, pick, pick. So, and then little bit of string noise there, but hey, it's rock and roll. So there you have it. There's a few little sequences you can play around with, and of course you can take them over the guitar neck, break them down, finish with a bend. So okay, little ideas. Experiment with some of your own. Let me know how you get on. Cheers. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you got something from it. As always, if you like the content, feel free to give us a like, make a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It all helps. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I've got a little treat for Alfie. Oh, you're a good boy, aren't you? Yeah. Give me a kiss. Oh, good boy. I think I might have another one here. Here. Good boy. Okay, now Daddy's going to be doing some recording in a minute, so good boy.